There are some facts in life you do not need to know, like the fact that all Fruit Loop colors taste the same, or the possibility that apples you buy at a supermarket may be older than a year. In this video, I will share with you 5 money rules the rich do not want you to know that will make you view money in a completely new way, because there are some things you need to know that others are withholding from you. Let's get started now. Rule number 1. The utility rule. What comes to mind when you think about having money? Do you consider putting food on the table, buying a new dress to wear to the club this weekend, or purchasing a new car? If any of these ideas pop up into your head, it is a sign that you grasp the true nature of money. That is merely a tool we may use to buy the things we desire or need. Unfortunately, many people make mistakes here because they do not fully understand the true value that money offers. For instance, if your salary is currently low, it is likely that you believe that increasing it will take care of the majority of your problems. Money can cure financial problems, but it can also cause a wide range of other problems. For instance, if your partner is not in love with you yet, you are working twice as hard and making twice as much money as you were before. You may be having relationship problems. You have not been to the gym in a month due to your hectic schedule, and your regular fitting jeans are beginning to feel a little tight. This is not to mean that you should not work to increase your income though. Your total quality of life should be gradually rising as long as you are addressing more problems that you are generating. There is not a single individual on earth though who is completely problem-free, so it is crucial to remember that. For instance, if you are a millionaire, you might not have to worry about bills, but family members might constantly ask you for money. On the other hand, you could find it difficult to shake the fear that you might one day lose all the money you have worked so hard to accumulate. Therefore, while you should want to earn as much money as you can, never allow that mislead you into believing that having more money will guarantee a life without problems. Rule number 2. The law of time. The vast majority of wealthy people will tell you that time is our most valuable resource. Unfortunately, most individuals do not understand how time plays a role in accumulating wealth, and as a result, the majority of people will spend the most of their life in a condition of financial poverty. But those who do master time also tend to master money, and they achieve this by being aware of the 2 essential concepts I want to discuss with you right now. First off, since you are only exchanging your time, it is practically difficult to exchange time for money. There are only so many hours in the day, and unless you are making an absurd amount of money every hour, it can be difficult to make a 6-figure salary on your own. This is assuming that your goal is to make decent money and become wealthy before you enter adulthood. The second issue with time is that as we become older, we often have less of it available to devote to earning money. For instance, I had no trouble working 14 hours a day when I was young and unmarried. However, time is not a resource you can utilize in order to get wealthy once you begin to have homeowner and relationship duties, or when you add children to the equation. Because of this, when seeking to accumulate wealth, the wealthiest among us look farther than just their own 24 hours. The wealthiest individuals on the Forbes list are all business owners who have benefited from the time, money, and skills of others. This is not an accident. Does this imply that you have a flawed understanding of how time works? In no way. All of this is to suggest that in order to become wealthy, you must recognize the importance of time in the process of accumulating wealth. For instance, gaining the professional expertise necessary to advance up the corporate ladder takes time. It takes time to figure out how to launch your first business and grow it to the income levels you desire. And it surely takes time to use the stock market and compound interest to your advantage to become wealthy. Ask Warren Buffett for proof. Building wealth is 10 times easier once you understand how to take use both of your own and other people's time. One more thing, please do me a big favor and give this video a thumbs up if you have been enjoying it so far. Rule number 3, the Precautionary Principle. Have you ever questioned why you go to work? Most likely, it is not because you enjoy hearing about your coworkers' personal problems or because you enjoy staying late to fulfill a deadline that is not feasible. For the majority of individuals, the solution is straightforward. You work to pay your bills and then retire. Unfortunately, while most people have the ability to accumulate, spending years working to earn the money they need to achieve their goals, they lack the ability to protect themselves, delaying their path to financial freedom longer than necessary. So, what does the ability to protect involve? We have to fight off enemies that want to steal your money every single day. Your wife has been pleading with you to take the trip, but it will cost you 3 years worth of savings. It is the opulent house that your parents anticipate you purchasing to preserve the family name. The $60,000 vehicle is what you were hoping will bring enthusiasm back into your life. These are all financial enemies that stand between you and your main objective of financial independence. Anyone can go out and earn money, as you can see. How people handle their resources is what distinguishes those who become and remain wealthy from others who experience financial hardship. Internalizing this is crucial since, similarly to how a poor diet cannot be outrun by exercise, a spending problem cannot be overcome. The more guarded you are with your money, the better. Rule number 4. The minimal savings rule. You have been instructed to save your money your entire life. Your parents advise you to put money away for a rainy day. The media advise you to hoard your cash. And banks are, of course, more than delighted to accept your funds. Should you really be saving money though? No, never. Saving money, as some people claim, is not the way to success and riches. In actuality, the only person who gains wealth from your savings is the bank. Banks use your money to make a significant portion of their revenue, which you might not be aware of. They collect your deposits and pay you a pittance while lending the money out to others at enticing interest rates. Rule number 5. The privacy principle. Most people would list all the things they would buy if they want more money if you ask them why they want to become wealthy. But is that truly the point of being wealthy? Wealth, according to the author, Morgan Housel, of the book The Psychology of Money, is what you do not see. And he could not be more correct. Many of the wealthiest people I know do not drive fancy cars, live in fancy homes, or do anything flamboyant. However, your eyes would likely roll back in your head if you saw their financial accounts. We can all agree theoretically that the more you buy, the less money you have. But it can be difficult to put financial conservatism into reality. Even if life is not all about saving and investing, the more of it you can do, the faster you will become wealthy. There is always that new car or vacation beckoning to us, but the contrary is true the less you need. Well guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below. And as always, give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't. With that being said, have a great night or day, and I'll see you in the next one.